In today's tech review, we have one really cool light from GODOX. It's FV150, and this is dual purpose light because it can be used as constant LED light for videography and also as LED flashlight for photography. So let's start. Hey guys, it's Nemanja and welcome to another fun tech review video. As I already said at the beginning, in today's episode we have this really cool dual-purpose LED light from GODOX. It's both meant for videographers and photographers, and one really cool thing about this light is the price. Of course, there are many other cool things like build quality, light quality, all the specs, etc. But price is really cool thing here because you will get two lights, both flashlight and constant LED light, for the price of $350, which is awesome, especially comparing to the Aputure, like the competition of the GODOX lights. So maybe I am sound now like I'm selling the light for the GODOX, but actually I'm not. GODOX did send me this light for test and review, but they didn't pay me to say anything. Everything that I say in this review, it's my own opinion. Okay, now that we covered that, let me first show you what's in the box and let's talk a little bit about the build quality. Actually, the box is over there in the studio, but basically in the box we have the light itself. So we have this thing right here. Without the tripod, of course, you will get the light like this, so just the light, and then you will get the power cable. It's pretty long power cable, which I pretty much like, and also we will get this remote control, so you can control the light completely from the remote, as you can see, turn on and turn off the light and change the power, etc. And we will get this reflector with a Bowens mount, because this light has a Bowens mount at the front. And I really like it because the pattern inside is really good and it's spreading the light pretty good. So this is really cool thing. Okay, so that's what's in the box. Now let's talk a little bit about the build quality. This light is built in combination of metal and plastic. It's really good build quality. It feels and looks like really premium product. On the back side of the light we have the main thing. We have the screen. We have two knobs that are both behaving as the knobs and buttons. Also we have few buttons right here. Power in connector for the power cable, of course, the sync connector right here, which is 3.5mm sync connector right here, and power on and off button. That's basically it. And on the front side we just have the light, the LED panel itself, also the Bowens mount right here, and that's basically it. It has a lot of holes for ventilating the light, and also the fan is currently on. So basically it's on all the time from the beginning of this video, and if you hear the fan or some noise, actually it's from the fan. So on the bottom side right there we have the fan itself, and we have also the mount for the umbrella holder at the bottom side, and that's basically it. On the right side we have this screw that you can unscrew and easily move the light, and also you can tighten it pretty hard, and I really like it because just this one without counterweights on the back, it will hold pretty big softbox, octabox, and I really like how they build it. And also at the top right here you have this thing right here that will actually lock the light modifier in place, so you don't need to fear that the light modifier will fall out of this housing right here. Okay, now we'll show you all the options considering the constant LED/video light, and then we will go to the flash/photography light. So first we have these two knobs right here, and we have the remote control. So just let me quickly cover this remote control. We have power on and off button, so you can really instantly power on and off button, and also we can change the channel, group, and ID. You need to match both the channel and the group and the ID with the light, so you're able to pair the remote control with the light and then to be able to operate it. But the main thing with the remote control, beside the powering on and off the light, is just changing the light intensity. But it's not instant, so you need to release and then you will change the light intensity. It's pretty slow. I'm not a fan of this, but so you need to maybe go from 5% to maybe you want to go to 100%, and it takes time. It's 40, 50, you know, it takes time. And then when you're done with it, let's go with 80. So this is 80%. You just need to release it, and then we'll change. This is the RCA6 for this light. The previous remote control for other GODOX light was different. You you were able to change the light intensity in a real time, not to wait for this to go to a certain degree, to a certain percentage, and then release it, and then it will change. It's much faster to do it here, as you can see. And this knob actually is for changing the light intensity. It goes all the way from 0 to 100% in the increments of 1%, which is awesome. You have really cool control over this. So this is 100%. And now let's go a little bit lower. Let's go just to few percents, maybe just 5%. This is cool. You can see the light is pretty bright, so my hand now it's overexposed right here where the light is. This unit has a really good light quality. It has a CRI index of 96 and TLCI index of 97, so it's pretty good light quality, and also it's pretty bright for the video light. In 1 meter distance on 100% power, it has 58,000 lux, approximately 58,000 lux. That's how they stated on their website. I don't have any equipment to measure at the actual value, so let's say that we will believe their measurements. The color temperature is stated as 5600 kelvins and it's not variable, so you cannot change it. So basically for the video light, it's really simple. You just have this knob to control the amount of brightness from 0 to 100% in the increments of 1%, and that's basically it. Here we can switch from LED to flashlight. Also we can go to change the group and channel, and also here we can see the ID. My current ID is 99, and that's basically it. What I like with this light is that when you turn it off and turn it on again, it will remember all the settings that you left the light in. Also, when you switch to flashlight, so to use it as a photography light, you just need to press here and it's completely independent of the video light. So maybe you want to set this one over the 16th of the second, the modeling light, you can set from 5% to 100% again in the increments of 1%, but it cannot be lower than 5%. And the beauty of this is, for example, I will go with 15, turn off the light, you can see the fans are off, you can actually hear. Let's do the fan test. I'm pretty close to the fans. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's not so loud, but you need to take that in consideration when you're filming something. You don't want to put this light close to the model because of the fan. And it will remember these settings, and if you go back to photography to LED light, it will remember the previous LED settings. So it's really cool. It has that memory module built in, so it will remember everything. Okay, now let's go from a video light or LED mode to a flash mode. For that, we just need to press this button right here, and as I already showed, we are really quickly in the flashlight mode. So that means that you can use this unit as a regular studio flashlight, which is awesome. But one thing that you need to have in mind is that this in the flashlight mode is not as bright as dedicated studio flashlight. Also, it's different type of light because this will overcharge the LED light and then it will flash them in a split second, and this is how this flash works. So here on the left knob you can change the amount of modeling light from 5% to 100% in the increments of 1%. If you want to turn off the modeling light, you just need to press it like this, okay? And now we turn off the modeling light. If you want to turn it back, just press it again. This is it. So for now I will just leave it off, and on the right knob you can change the amount of flash power that goes out of this unit. It goes from off to 1 over the 16th, and then all the way to 1/1 to full power in the increments of, it has 1/3 of the stop. So this is how it is. And also here what we have is this button right here that it's a test button, so you can test if this works or not, and the power of the flashlight. Also, if you are on 100% power of the flashlight, see this light right here, if you flash it, it takes half of the second to fully charge the LEDs and go back. If you're going back to maybe 1/8, then you can go really crazy with this. It will charge momentarily. So this is it. One really cool thing that it doesn't come in the box, but GODOX sell it separately, is their triggers. So with the triggers you can go even more and change some settings there too. So this is X2TF model, because F it's for Fujifilm cameras. I'm personally using Fujifilm cameras for photography, and this trigger has a lot of things that you can change directly from this unit. You don't need to go to every single light separately. This trigger is used not just for FV150 but for other GODOX Flash Studio flashlights. It has different modes from A to E. It has this trigger test, so you can just test the trigger from here. The modeling light is on when you're on the trigger, so when you're using trigger you will have the modeling light on. Also we have the menu, mode and set button in the front. Big cool display right here with all the settings that you need. I will not go and cover all the things because this is not a tutorial for this trigger, it's just a short review. But this trigger is really cool, well built quality, and it has so many functionalities, so it's really awesome. And it's awesome not just for this, for any GODOX light. And I like the way how it is mounted on the hot shoe, so it has this type of mounting rather than the screw type of mounting. I prefer this over that better. So this is the newer version, X2T, and GODOX has 2 more triggers, but this is like the best of both worlds. So depends what you want, and the price you can choose between 3 of them. Also it has a Bluetooth built-in and a few other things, but the point here is that you can go and change the settings directly from the trigger. So you can see I'm changing the wheel on the trigger and I'm changing the settings on the unit right here, and this is how it is. Now what we will do, I will mount this on my camera and we will test this light as a flash unit. I will show you a few photos. I will do some self-portraits because it's currently in situation and I don't have anybody here in the studio except myself, so let's do it. For this example I will use this beauty dish without a grid and with a grid, and also I will test it with a softbox with 2 layers of diffusion so you can see the difference, and I will put in the screen what camera settings I use for that. Also one thing that I didn't mention is that this light also has a high-speed synced function, so you can shoot with 1/8000 of the second using this flashlight, and this is only available if you have one of GODOX triggers. So without GODOX triggers you cannot go into high-speed sync option. So this is really cool. Maybe it can be used with some other triggers, but I'm not sure, I'm not aware of that. So if you know other ways how you can do it and use this light, please let me know down there in the comment section below. Okay, now let's go and do some tests with the flashlight. Right guys, you just saw how this unit works as a flashlight, and if you've ever been in the studio and used dedicated flashlights, you know that this is not as bright as dedicated flashlight. But it's cool to have 2 units in one, because these days a lot of photographers takes videos and a lot of videographers take photos, so having 2 in 1 is really cool thing. Also, it's not so bad that this is not as bright as dedicated flashlight, because in my experience I have some studio flashlights here in the studio, and when I want to take photos with really wide aperture 1.4, 1.8, some really nice portraits with shallow depth of field, I always need to put ND filter on my lens, because even if I power down my flash all the way to the minimum, it's still too bright for this wide open aperture. And this is really cool, because with these lights you can do that. You can take some really nice shallow depth of field photos, portraits, and don't need to put ND filters on that. So one thing that I notice using this light. My final thoughts, my final conclusion about this light is that I really like it, especially as a video light. One downside is that this light is not as bright as dedicated studio flashlight if you're using it as a flashlight for photography, but it's not a huge drawback. Also, one thing that I didn't like is this remote control, because it's too slow. I wish that I can change the power of the light in real time, not to wait to go to a certain percentage release and then it will change it. Maybe they can change this in a firmware, I'm not sure, but this is something that I didn't like. But one thing that I really liked is this X2T trigger from GODOX that can be used not just with this light but also with other GODOX studio flashlights, and I don't have any negative thing to say for this. It's really cool, awesome, love it. Also it has a hot shoe here at the top if you want to mount another flash at the top of everything, so it's really cool and reliable thing. I pretty much love this. Right guys, so that would be it. If you're more video orientated, you can go with GODOX VL series, not just the FV series. VL series is just light dedicated for video, and they're even better than this. They can be operated via battery, so this light is only operated via power cable. It doesn't have option to mount a battery, but VL series have that option, and also they're much cheaper than Aputure, the competition, so just check it out if that's something that you're searching for. Right, if you have any questions regarding to this episode, please leave me down there in the comment section below. I will be glad to answer it. And also guys, have fun experiment and see you in my next fun video. Bye bye.